Good day, my loves. Welcome to another episode of Shorts for the Believer. I am so glad to see you. It's been a few days since we were last together, but I had something today that I wanted to take a moment and share with you as I'm driving to work. Usually I try to do these videos when I'm still, but today I needed to maximize every bit of time that I had available to me, so we're doing two things at once. As always, if you desire to see this video in its entirety, please head over to our YouTube page at Healing You, Healing Me, and you will find every video, our whole catalog of videos where we talk about parts of our relationship with God and ways in which to improve and have a more intimate and a more close relationship with God, to seek Him and view Him as our source and not just a resource that we use in times of trouble. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about being empowered and what that really means as it relates to God. And lately we have been examining relationships just as a society. And by that I mean we're talking about the infamous slap, Will and Jada Smith, and that whole interaction between Will Smith and Chris Rock, the interaction between Will and Jada, what prompted Will to do what he did on national TV in front of millions of people. We've been talking about relationships and the power that one or the other person has in the midst of a relationship to enact anything, whether it's something good, whether it's something negative, just the power that your spouse or your significant other has to entice you to do something that you may not normally do on your own, right? And the thing about relationships is that they are really built on communication. They are built on that intimacy, and not physical intimacy, not just physical intimacy, but they are built on the intimacy of taking time to talk with your partner, to communicate with your partner, to learn your partner in ways that the average Joe on the street would never have the opportunity to know or see them in. And that intimacy lends itself to a level of something. I haven't quite discovered the word for it, but that type of intimacy lends itself to something much deeper than the average encouragement or motivation that you can get from a friend or another family member. And I'll tell you what I mean. Many times you look at your spouse or your significant other, and some of us will find ourselves saying, as long as I can have you, I can do anything. And that's amazing, because that's the way that God designed marriage. We're talking about marriage now. That's the way that God designed marriage. To feel so empowered by that relationship, to feel so deeply comfortable in the intimacy that you share with your partner, the physical intimacy, the emotional intimacy, the mental, the spiritual intimacy, the personal intimacy, the secrets that you would never share with anybody else, the way that you are able to convey those to your partner, and the way that they're able to hold your secrets close. But what if you and I took the opportunity to build that type of intimacy with God? What if we really took the opportunity to allow God to be so intimate with us that we feel empowered to do, to be, to become any and everything that we want to be, because the unspoken encouragement that He provides entices us to believe, as long as I have you, God, I can do anything. What if the same energy we give to building relationships, friendships, business partnerships, what if we lent that same type of energy to building our relationship with God? I'm wondering what difference you and I could see in our lives. I'm wondering exactly what we would feel empowered to be, to do, and to become if we were really to lend that type of energy to building with God what we have taken time to build with others. Think about increasing your level of intimacy with God. Think about building relationship with God that is such that it offers you encouragement when you're down, when you're feeling low, when you're depressed, when you're sad, or just when you need an extra motivation to maybe lose that 5 pounds that nobody else is able to give you. God is able to do that for you, but we have a responsibility in that. We have to allow him in. We have to give him the opportunity. He is not one that forces himself on anybody. He wants us to come willingly, to come boldly, and to come desiring more of him. And so I encourage you to think on those things today and think about the level of intimacy that you have with the Lord. And think about how much more your life would improve if you allowed that intimacy to be a little deeper, to be a little more. If you actually increased your part and you came to the table doing more, being more, offering more, taking 5 minutes more to spend with God instead of scrolling through your phone on Facebook, taking 5 more minutes to spend with God instead of laughing at the many videos we come across on TikTok. I'm not scolding you. I'm talking about me and sharing my life as transparently as I can with you, because these are things that I struggle with. You know, I work in mental health, and so a lot of times I'm always talking to people about their problems, their issues. And in this role that I find myself in now, I'm talking to people about not wanting to desire death. And that becomes very heavy day in and day out when you're constantly talking to someone about choosing life instead of choosing death. So at the end of the day, when I am relaxing and having my quiet time, I find myself scrolling through my phone, laughing at things that I found on TikTok because of the artistry and the creativeness of people that just touches me in such a way that it invokes laughter and joy and happiness. But I want to do more and I want to be more with God. And so I recognize that there's a sacrifice that I have to make. And I encourage you to think about that same type of sacrifice. Thank you so much for spending this 7 minutes and 35 seconds with me. I appreciate your time. I do hope that Shorts for the Believer has been helpful and beneficial to you, and that it has encouraged you to think outside of the box in terms of your relationship with God. He wants to be a part of your life, and I guarantee you, if you let him in, he'll take you places you've never been before. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time on the next episode of Shorts for the Believer. Mwah! Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.